So before you find the lowest common multiple, you have to remember what a multiple is. So again, it's the numbers or the values that your specific number divides into. So like the multiples of 4 and 3. Multiples of 4 are 4, 8, 12 because they're all divisible by 4. So if you're not sure necessarily how to find them, they're really just the number itself multiplied by 1 and then 2 and then 3. So the first multiple of 4 would be 4 times 1, 4. 4 times 2 is your second one. That's 8. 4 times 3, 4 times 4. So the thing with multiples is that they can continue forever. Like the next one would be 36. The next one after that would be 40. So you can't ever find the greatest common multiple because they would continue forever. That's why we only ever bother finding the lowest common multiple. Then the multiple of 3, again, just the number that you're finding the multiple of times 1. Then that number times 2, if you're unsure, if you don't know how to find it in your head. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. But you're looking for the lowest number they have in common. So as you list out your factors, whether you do it in your head or you literally factor them out, the first number that they have in common is going to be that lowest common multiple. So the lowest common multiple, LCM, of 4 and 3 is going to be 12. So if you're asked to find the common multiple of these next couple of examples, first one is 3 and 2. So yes, sometimes you can just multiply the two numbers together. Like 3 times 2 is 6. The lowest common multiple of 3 and 2 is going to be 6. But that's not always the case. Sometimes it's just a common number and it doesn't end up being the lowest. So you can always just list them out. So 3, you can either do them in your head or you sort of have them right above you there. So 3 times 1, 3 times 2, 3 times 3, 3 times 4, 5. Okay. Multiples of 2, 2 times 1, 2 times 2. So 6, 8, 10. Again, it would keep going. So the lowest number, the first number that they both share in common that they divide into is 6. So that's going to be your lowest common multiple for those guys. So 2 and 6. So again, you can list the multiples of 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It would continue. Multiples of 6. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2, 12. 6 times 3, 18. 6 times 4. It would continue. So here, just multiplying 2 times 6, okay, that would be 12. So yes, 12 is a common multiple, but not the lowest. The lowest number they have in common is actually 6 itself. So it is fine for one of the numbers, just like having a common factor, having a common multiple be one of the actual numbers is perfectly fine. So 5 and 3, multiples of 5, 5 times 1, 5 times 2. So 5, 10, 15, 20, it would continue. Multiples of 3, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. First number we get to that they both share, 15. So that's your LCM for 3 and 5. Again, I won't necessarily ask you guys to find common multiples, but we use this technique to find the denominators because you are just finding the multiples of your denominators in order to add and subtract fractions. So 4 and 8. Multiples of 4, 4, 8, 12, 16. Would continue. Multiples of 8, 8, 16, 24, 32. So what's the lowest they have in common? Number 8 itself. And then 12 and 9. So once the numbers get a little bigger, like you can like find them in your calculator. Like in order to find the multiples, hopefully you know that 12 times 1 is 12. But then to find the next one, you guys would just do, okay, 12 times 2. That's your next multiple. 12 times 3. That's the next one. So 24, 36, 48. Once the numbers get a little bigger and you might not be able to do them in your head. And then 9. 9 times 1, so we have 9. 9 times 2, 18. 9 times 3, 27. 9 times 4, 36. 9 times 5, 45. So we did come across the first number that they have in common. So again, the lowest common multiple is really what you're finding when you go to find or use that common denominator. We don't want to be using these super large numbers because that's just going to mean more reducing. So being able to identify that lowest number that they have in common first is going to be helpful when we go to start adding and subtracting fractions.